Hi guys, welcome back to my channel for a new installment of the Design With Me for Gen Z series I'm doing. So today we're going to be designing this using AI. And if you're new here, I've been using AI to create a creative brief for me because of course we're doing this for a company that does not exist. We're not waiting for a client to come along and say, hey, I want this specifically. I want to do a series on Gen Z because they are the biggest spending target audience right now with $36 billion of revenue reported. And they're also like a really fun, free-spirited type of generation that I believe. So, want to continue on with that. So as I did before, I asked ChatGPT to create a creative brief for a small nutritional company that sells vitamins and supplements that plans to target Gen Z, including visual direction and a thorough description of the target audience. I wanted to do a nutritional company because wellness brands and everything are kind of all looking the same nowadays. Now, we do have some great examples out there like Bloom and Goli, which I use a lot as well for my ACV girls out there. But I'm starting to see that they're all using the same type of branding, the same type of colors, the same type of concept. So I wanted to give myself the opportunity to do something a little bit different. So going through what they provided for us, I actually love the name that they came up with this time. Last time I hated it, today I love it. So Nutrigen Z, but we're taking off the Z because why do we have to be that specific? So I love the Nutrigen. So a little play on words there. Demographic was the same as our last prompt. This time though, for the psychographics, it says health conscious and fitness oriented. We do have like a boom of influencers. Actually, millennials have been doing this too, so that's a lie. But there's a lot of popular influencers out there in the fitness and wellness space, so this makes sense to me. They value experiences over possessions. Okay, love that. They seek products that align with personal values. This is also very Gen Z specific because what we found is that Gen Z is really unapologetic about what they want, who they are in terms of who they are as a person, what they want to spend their money on. They're very loud and flamboyant with their opinions, which we love. And this is something new also that our parents are like, oh my gosh, this generation is just crazy. But I'm here for it. So the key message is cutting edge nutrition for the Gen Z lifestyle and a science-backed formula for optimal health, sustainable. That was also a pain point or a pinpoint in our last prompt. And something that they want to focus on is empowering young adults to take charge of their well-being. Now, going to the visual direction, this one's a little bit longer, which I appreciate than our last prompt. Color palette should be energetic, vibrant colors reflecting youthfulness. Incorporate eco-friendly tones to empathize sustainability. Typography should be modern, clean, and easily readable. That's the same as before. I noted that Gen Z likes big, in-your-face typography that's easy to read. Great for accessibility, great for legibility. You can kind of like see it, know it, not a lot that you have to do. So we love that. So I think this is actually a great starting point for us to start mocking things up. So this time I wanted to do a little bit of more meaningful feedback with you guys. So I like to put about 3 to 4 different typography choices for my clients usually, but because we're having fun and this is something new, I did a little bit more than I usually do, and I did take the time to pull some of my favorite fonts prior to, so I don't have you guys wait and sit through all that. So again, we're going to go with Nutrigen instead of nutrition. I love that as a name here, so went ahead and laid these out. Just Myriad Sans or Myriad Pro is what we're given. So what I went ahead and did was I pulled probably a little bit too many, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So am I reading that right? 1, 2, 3, 6, not 7, sorry. So these were my favorites when I went through. I wanted to make sure that it was easy to read, so big sans font, not sans serif, focusing on sans only. The difference between sans serif and serif is it's that slab, like think Times New Roman. That's a sans serif, a very famous sans serif, one of the first fonts that you can put on the internet. Fun fact. And then a sans is going to be like your Montserrat or Arial or Avenir. They don't have that slab or that extra piece hanging onto the letters, so that's the primary difference between a sans serif and a serif font. But getting back to this, I wanted to have something fun. Now, the last video I did, I wanted to do a retro vibe. I was really leaning in on my personal style being more of like an eclectic type of thing, but we're going to think more corporate this time. So I do have an option for a retro style font here. However, I think I'm going to get rid of that. Super sad, I know. But I want to focus on cleaner type of vibes, cleaner look, to lean in more towards what the creative brief says, because once you have a client, you're not going to really do things specific to what you want. It will be more so what the client wants. So let's just lean into that and pretend like this is like a real life thing. So the creative brief said clean, simple font, so we're just going to do that. So my end here is a little bit lower. That was on purpose. I did that from the glyphs, and I'm not mad about that at all, but I wanted to just see it as an option. And let's see, I'm tied between having the capital N or the lowercase n to start, but I think that I'm going to be sold on having a lowercase. So let's delete all the ones that have the capital N first. Yeah, I think I'm going to be okay with that. So narrowed it down here. So here's one thing I do want to say. I am going to do mock-ups at the end of the video, as you saw in the beginning, and I want to keep in mind what is going to be on the label, because I think I'm going to do something fun with the placement of the logo on the actual branding and on the product. So with that in mind, I think that this option might be a little too skinny, so we're going to get rid of her. I'm being real cutthroat today. I love that for me. I think I'm going to get rid of this one because it's giving me the retro vibes. So we're tied between these three now. And I kind of feel like... Sorry, my dog is being himself right now. I kind of feel like I can do something fun with this, but I'm not sure about like how fun I want to be. So let's play with these letters just for 1 sec. And I'll speed this up so you don't have to sit through it. Okay, that was a bit of a doozy. I'm sorry, but the thing about customizing typefaces is things get a little wacky when you start doing things with the anchor points and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and incorporate the little bit of illustration that I wanted to do. So I didn't want to do anything too serious, but I didn't want to just keep it with the typeface either. And that could just be because I feel the need to do a little bit extra rather than not a lot. The reason why I didn't do anything with the middle font though is because I feel like it already has a lot of character going on with the little lowercase n and everything. So I don't really want to mess with that. This one is probably a little too long now that I zoomed out. So I decided I want to do like a spiral. I could come up with some type of reasoning for that, but honestly it was just because I haven't used a spiral in a long time and I wanted to see how it looked with one. So I have 3 different ones. I just used the spiral tube tool in Illustrator. Okay, so how you're going to do a spiral tool in Illustrator is you're just simply going to click the tool here, the spiral tool, and just press and hold on the artboard. Once you're there, you can, if you're a Mac user like me, you can press Command and make the spiral smaller, larger. You can kind of play with it and see how many spirals you want or how many loops you want. But I'm not sure if I'm going to even use a spiral. I just wanted another element. So for this middle logo here, I don't think that I'm really going to use one. But since we already have it adjusted here, I wanted to see how it would look if like a spiral took the place of like the eye or just incorporated. We definitely have to make this a lot thicker. I just like the idea of something here. I actually really like that. So I'm going to keep that one there as an option. And probably do the same with this one. So between the three of these, I think that I like the last one. So we're going to get rid of these. And this is our winner here. So I have some just play on words for the products that we're going to be doing. But before I show you guys those, I did go ahead and pull a color palette using the eyedrop tool in Illustrator from these inspo pictures here. So I mentioned Goli before, love them. I mentioned Bloom before. I also mentioned how it's been reported that Gen Z is like really attracted to pastels, neutral colors, but I am also of the belief that bright, impactful imagery is attractive to them as well. So I wanted to do a blend of both. So I came to these 6 colors, and I also know that I have stated I'm not a hypocrite. I've said that I only like to do about 4 to 5 colors. I did mean that. But in this case, I do like the idea of using color to differentiate between products or categories of products. So in my mind, when we go to mock up these designs or this packaging for the design, we'll be using different colors for a category. So the suggested ones that I have here is Just Relax, which will be like a melatonin supplement to help you go to sleep, calm down. Everything you need is all inclusive, like 1 a day type vitamin. Eat your greens. I was supposed to say greens. Eat your greens. So that's going to be like your liquid, like the powder like Bloom has, and a couple of other companies have like the power greens that you put in water, drink it with the shake after you work out or whatever. And then Beauty and Biotin, which is like the collagen hair, nails, skin, hair, nails, however the combination is. What we need right now is a complementary font. So I always like to go bold and then go thin. And I'm just going to say wellness, because I like to also leave the net, cast the net kind of broad with my clients. I'm going to do the same here. We don't know what's going to happen 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years from now in terms of what we might be selling or what the client might be selling. So we're just going to say wellness. And we can't say nutrition, which is usually what they say. We can't just say supplements because we don't know. We might have apparel in the future. We might have studio, spa, med spa, IV drips. I don't know. But so we're just going to say Nutrigen wellness. I'm a Montserrat girl, but for the sake of this, I'm going to use Campaign, one of my favorite fonts. Increase the space between the letters here, the kerning. And I think that placement, I think I want to increase a little bit more. I also think I want this to be skinnier. I actually like that. Okay. Cool. So keeping that in mind, let's change this. So I just like how it just complemented that. Like, we didn't have to do much. Did it for us. So here are our colors. And here is a nice little board or just like an image to show you like the energy that we're looking for in terms of who our customer base is. So I like to do this because it kind of personifies the brand, or it does personify the brand. And then also for the client, it helps to put a face to the audience that they're trying to serve. A lot of the times these big companies have market researchers that are literally just pulling data, which is great, but it also helps in terms of creating like an avatar if you're doing like a product mobile app, to actually put a face to a name. So to humanize the brand, humanize the person, so that you can start to understand what the person's needs are, or the client's needs are, the target audience. It just helps all in all to have a visual to go with them. It makes the branding feel very real, and it makes it feel like it's already in the world. So this is who we're serving. I love Gen Z ads. I love the imagery. Of course, I pulled this off of Pinterest, my favorite place for inspiration. I also use Unsplash for license-free photos, and I use Pexels for videos. In my last video, or my first video, I ended with a little snippet of a video. I got that from Pexels. It's a great resource. Make sure you contribute the author or give them some type of shout out if you can. But I get a lot of videos, especially for my clients that can't get like a video shoot done and they're in a crunch and they want something to be put together for their launches. That's a great resource. So pull these images. Fun, clean, up-to-date, modern. This is what we're going for. And I have Goli again here, and then there are some other brands that I just saw. Ritual has really great imagery in terms of like their promotions and when they're dropping products. I love their imagery. Them and Drunken Elephant, I recently just visited their creative studio. They put a lot of work into the behind the scenes for their product images and for their videos that they put on social. It's so much work that goes into that, and the team literally goes to Home Depot and matches things to the colors of the labels. They do a lot of behind the scenes work, so they were also one of my inspirations. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull the colors into this logo, so I'm gonna speed it up so you guys don't have to sit through that. Okay, so I went ahead and did this. I don't think that I want to have that high of a contrast with the background color and the color of the logo. In my mind, it's going to be so large and impactful that most of the design is going to be made up of the logo, and you guys will see that in a sec. I'm also going to switch over to Photoshop so I can start on these mockups, which I received my mockups again from Creative Market. Again, a great resource for new designers. They give you free goods once a week, or if you subscribe, you get a discount on anything that you purchase. It makes your life so much easier to use mockups that are realistic when you're presenting things to clients or even at work. Whatever you're doing as a freelance designer, if you're that as well, creating a mockup of the final product gives a great visual of what the final product is going to look like. So I'm going to speed this up and drop these into mockups for you guys. Okay guys, so now that we have all of our mock-ups done, what we're going to do is lay it out so we can present it to the client. And I want you guys to see just how impactful these mock-ups are all together, like what a difference it makes. And this is what happens when you forget to put a shadow on it. Bring the shadow off. Yikes. We can get around it. Can we get around it? Probably not. This is a bummer. I have to redo this. So that is our nutritional company for Gen Z. I'm going to go ahead and work on some images to go ahead and complement this, and then we'll see the final product. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe for the next video.